We are live. Welcome everyone to the Luxury Live Show. And I see so many comments already. Thank you so much. If you guys don't already know, this is a luxury live show that I started with my partner Kat, which is right beside me. So make sure to subscribe to both of our channels because we alternate hosting the show on each other's channel each and every week. This week we did slides for you guys again. Actually, Kat did slides for you because this was supposed to be a set of slides that we were supposed to present last week. But then because of all the fashion shows, the new fashion shows that came on, we decided to let's talk about the fashion show instead. So this week we're doing the slides that she prepared, and I only added a couple of slides to the deck. Let me share my screen right now with you. So this week's topic, since you guys requested it, we are talking about other brands. I know that we always talk about LV and Chanel. So a lot of you were like, let's talk about other brands. So we picked a few of the most hottest, newest bags from these three brands, Bottega, Fendi, and Dior. So that should be pretty interesting, right? Before we get started though, so was it 3 weeks ago, I think, Kat? 3 weeks ago,
yeah, 3 weeks.
We asked everyone to give suggestions for a hashtag name to represent you guys because you guys are so amazing, so awesome. You join us every single week. We see some familiar names every single week. And these were the 4 top picks that came up. And the most popular one that won, which represents you guys, is Luxie's.
Yay!
So I guess from now on, I should probably say, welcome back, Luxie's, to the Luxury Live Show. So yeah, going forward, this will be the hashtag that represents you guys. So thank you all so much for your suggestions and for your voting. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about Fendi first. So this is a bag. And by the way, Kat went shopping too. She took a lot of we were deciding which bags to talk about, and then she went shopping. She took pictures. She looked at the bags. She tried them on. So it's good to be able to see it on someone, right? Rather than just the models from the website. So I'll give my feedback, and then I'll let Kat do her talking as well, and then we'll just go from there. All right, so this is a brand new bag called the Peekaboo ICU East West. That's a really long name. I think people call it Peekaboo East West, probably. I don't know. Personally, I have not tried this bag. I have seen it on some bloggers, and I was immediately attracted to it because it reminded me, when I looked at it, the first time it reminded me of a very not Birkin, the other one.
Kelly?
Kelly, yes. The Kelly look, because of how structured it is, even though the Kelly sometimes can be less structured depending on the leather it's used and how it's constructed, the retourné versus the sellier. So this really reminds me of the sellier, and but aside from that, it's really just a structure that reminds me of that. Aside from that, it looks great because it's a peekaboo. I've loved the peekaboo style for a while. It is an East-West style, so it does definitely give me more of a serious, sort of very elegant, serious vibe, almost like a briefcase look. And from the looks of it, it's made of box leather, so a tough leather, but also probably just looks a bit more polished, basically. I like it. I don't know if I'll buy one for myself, probably not, but I like the look of it just from seeing it. Now, I do know that it's pretty heavy from what Kat said, so I'm going to let Kat continue with the feedback on this one.
Thanks, Amy. Yeah, so I went in store, and it's actually a really attractive looking bag. So like Amy said, it's an East-West, so it's a longish sized peekaboo. It's part of the peekaboo range. It is heavy, actually. I was quite surprised, not pleasantly surprised, quite surprised when I picked it up. I was like, oh, it's got weight. So what the essay said is that it's because of the construction. So if you see the picture on the right side, as I turned the peekaboo over, you can see there's like 3 partitions. The middle partition is what she told me is the reason why it's heavy, it's like there's some kind of metal in the middle, so to give it that structured shape. So unlike the peekaboo, the original peekaboo, even though it has a partition in the middle, but I believe that partition is leather, so it's kind of soft. It takes away a bit of the weight, but they made this bag much heavier. And I like the look. I'm undecided whether I actually like it on me, because it's a long kind of bag. It's kind of like a rectangle, you know, and I don't know. It's I think you got to be quite tall to carry off this bag. I'm not tall. I'm 5'4", and it does look a little bit like long. So it looks really good when you see it there, and it looks like a briefcase, very sturdy looking briefcase. But I don't think I would go for this peekaboo.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I said it reminded me of a Kelly, it's because I feel like this is much more of a handheld bag. Like I feel like the Kelly, even though it does come with a shoulder strap, it just looks better when you hand carry it. It's just the look. It's much more serious. It is actually lined in lambskin from the description that I read. So lambskin on the inside and calfskin on the outside. But because it's a box leather, I feel like they tend to be heavier to begin with. So yeah, it is a different style. It's a new one. I think it will appeal to, like Kat said, taller people and probably like just people who are looking for that specific look, the more polished, kind of more serious. Yeah. All right. So thank you, Kat, for trying it out and then for showing it. Plus the price. Well, the price is kind of around the peekaboo range, and but you can definitely see, like, based on the size, that it's quite wide. They also have a medium size, which is more of a regular peekaboo size, meaning it's not like east to west. It's more like a peekaboo size, but it's still pretty heavy. And it actually, when I look at that one versus this one, I didn't like it as much. Okay, another one that I was like, oh, Kat, make sure you check this one out, because the Essentially is it's not super new, but it's still newer of a peekaboo line, and it's made of this beautiful calf skin on the outside. I believe it is also lined in lambskin, so it's full leather, but the size of it is slightly larger than the peekaboo mini. So the classic peekaboo mini, think of that one, and the medium size, it's like smack in the middle. So the size is actually quite nice. I would say that this is kind of like the size small. Again, I have not had the chance to try it recently. I believe I've seen it already, like in the past when I went, like whenever I went inside Fendi, I did see it, but I did not have a chance to try it recently. If anything, between the mini and this one, I feel like these would be the two styles that I would personally go for. What did you think about it, Kat?
Okay, so this was a mistake to go in because I love this bag. I couldn't put it down. It is so beautiful. And I actually like the slightly larger size. So I forgot to give you one photo. I took a photo between the Essentially and the Peekaboo Mini. But just a picture of that. I mean, just the size. The Essentially is slightly bigger, but it still looks like a mini bag, and it is lighter than the East-West bag. It's gorgeous. Okay, this looks so much more, I don't know, I just think it's the way the flap, the top bit for the Peekaboo usually falls over. For the Essentially, the way that it's I don't know, like designed on the side. So if you look at the last picture on the right, you can see it folds in. So the way that the glazing is made and stitched, it will never fall out and be like a real, you know, the Peekaboo design is supposed to be like opened and you can say, oh, Peekaboo, you can see inside. Whereas for this, it's sort of more like it's standing. I don't know. It looks so fun. And the size, you can put a little bit more things. If you're in Singapore, sometimes you want to carry like an umbrella in your handbag. Maybe you want to bring a little water bottle. It fits easily. It has a thicker strap as well. And if I'm not mistaken, it's also adjustable. It's so comfortable. It has so many colors. The one that I have, I'm wearing on is, I think it's called tortoise shell or something. It's like it's I don't know. I can't remember now, but it's a beautiful color.
Neutral.
The three colors that they have, which I think are classics, is the black. There's a gray color, and there's this like beigey grayish color. And they also have another range where it's lighter on the inside. So maybe it's a brown on the outside, and inside is like a white lambskin. I won't recommend that kind of interior because lambskin and it's light. It's a little bit more, it'll wear a bit more unless you've got a bag organizer. But this bag, oh my gosh. If I were to get a Fendi bag, this will be the one.
I totally agree, which is why I was like, oh, make sure you try out this one, because I personally love the peekaboo, like the style in general, because it's such a great everyday style, but still looks so polished. And this one is kind of a step up even, because I don't know, when I look at it, it almost looks like the LV one, the why are all the names escaping me? But you all know which one I'm talking about. Yeah. So it's kind of a cross between the peekaboo and that one almost. But I love that this one has that, it's still smooth calf skin, but it's not that stiff box one that we saw earlier. And the size is a little bit bigger. Yeah. And you can still, I think it will still do that peekaboo thing though. Did you try removing, you know how like it's snap closed right now on your last picture? Did you try removing that snap and see if it did do the dip?
It dips really little, because if you where the snap is like this, right? The snap's like that. The way it's structured and it's sewn in this way, it won't fall immediately out. It may a little bit like this, and really over time, but because it's stitched this way, it'll most likely stand up. Unless you keep pressing it down, then it might fall. Right. But it won't be like the peekaboo where over time, especially lambskin, it just falls out.
That's so true, because the classic peekaboo is essentially in lambskin unless you get it in calfskin, and then this one is in calfskin. So beautiful. Love it. And it looks amazing.
We got the LV name. Thank you. I'm back happy. The Capucine.
All right. So another one that we will touch on is the baguette. So obviously this is not a new bag. It's been brought back from the past as well. So this is all the revamped different, like there's like a million gazillion different styles. There's leather, there's fabric, there's canvas, there's all kinds, metallic. And I like it. I have to say, like, the baguette is just the classic silhouette. It's just like a flat bag. I personally really like it. I think I am really attracted to maybe the mini size. So that gold one, that one is calling my name. Not that I need another mini bag, because let's be honest, I have way too many mini bags. But yeah, the baguette is kind of, I guess this baguette with the thicker strap, like they added the long strap as kind of the modernization, is more wearable and definitely more of like an everyday style. Price-wise, they are quite expensive though. If you look at that large size on the bottom, the Zuka print, I believe even the leather version is the same price. So in Canadian dollars, plus tax is like over $4,000. It's kind of crazy. That's where I'm kind of a little bit more hesitant, because this is getting close to Chanel price territory. And when I see that, I'm like, maybe I will save it for my favorite brand. I don't know. What did you think, Kat?
I went in store and I saw the baguette. I think the Zuka print one at the bottom. It's a trendy. Well, it's a classic trendy bag because it's brought back and now everybody is going for it. It's nice. It's a nice flat bag, and because of all the various prints that they're doing, I do actually like the one next to your gold one, so on the left with the stripes that are like vertically down. I don't know. Maybe it's the strap that attracts me. It's, if you want to go trendy, you like go trendy, right? I don't know. If I were to want to buy one of these Fendi baguettes, I might actually consider looking in the resale market, because the price in store new is just so high. And when I picked up that Fendi Zuka print one, it just felt so light. You know, I get it that it's fabric and canvas, that it's thinner, lighter, and maybe that's why people love it. But it doesn't give me that luxury feel. You know, you can make canvas and cloth material feel a little substantial. This felt thin. So for that price, I'm also thinking of that perspective. So yeah, I'd go resale. I'd go resale market.
That's actually a really good point, because the whole Zuka print from Fendi is kind of 2018, right? Because that's when I bought, like, that's when everyone went crazy with all the Zuka print with the strap. I have the strap too. I have the velvet Zuka. I have the Montrezl in Zuka. So it is kind of a little passé, but I still feel like it's nice. It really just depends on you, whether you're really into it still, or if you don't really think about how trendy it is, whether you still like the style, because this is just a classic style. It's just a flat bag, basically. Like Kat was saying, it's a little bit more modernized in a way that they added that extra strap, and also it's trendy because they brought it back. But yeah, for the price, I feel like it's not worth it, which is why I've never taken the plunge. All right, let's jump into Bottega. There's actually a lot of Bottega bags, and I mean, the pouch. The pouch is definitely one of the most sort of, we've seen it a lot, like so much on social media, mostly on the bloggers and probably on the taller people, but not necessarily even, because, okay, there's actually different sizes of this pouch. So the large one, which we all saw in the bloggers, they usually are pretty tall, and they, you know, it's like a bag that you bring to like Fashion Week. And then there's this mini one in the middle, which has kind of this adjustable strap. It's just kind of like a tamed down version if you still want the look. The price is also a lot more reasonable, but still very expensive in my opinion. Like, if I'm gonna go the pouch, I'm gonna go the real, like the pouch, the actual one that's like this big. It's huge. I actually did have a chance to try this out when I was in Las Vegas, and I just remembered it being very heavy, because this is so much leather. It's all throughout the outside, and the inside is lined in calfskin. It's like really thick, good quality leather too. Like, when you think Bottega, you think leather. That's how I think about it. But it's so heavy and so overwhelming. Like, the size of it was so big that, like, on me, it just looks super ridiculous. So yes, quality, I appreciate it, but it's just a little too trendy and not very practical looking to me. I want to know what you think, Kat.
Okay, so when I first saw the pouch, it was just before my last trip back and forth with Singapore and Malaysia, before this whole thing happened. And I was in the airport, and I saw it in the Bottega at the airport, and I fell in love with it because the leather was just, oh my gosh, it's like holding a cloud, okay? And that is probably why there's such a big rage, because when you touch it, you're like, what is that? That is like luxury in your hands, right? And then the price point, if you think of it, like, you know, not talking about utility, but just the thought of it, it's like, oh, it's okay, 3,000 is gigantic dumpling of a bag. But on a practical perspective, you won't get a lot of use out of it unless you're an Instagram model. You've got a lifestyle that needs this kind of pouch, because it's just a pouch. You be clamping it under your armpit for the whole time you're walking, so it's not really practical. Now, if you see the picture on the top right corner, that's how the pouch looks like in real life. It's like a chunk of leather that it looks mismatched, but compared to the model pictures, they are obviously, you know, puffed up beautifully. But the real thing, it's not as appealing in the eyes as what you will see in pictures. So yeah, it does look like you bundle up a bunch of like leather and put it under your arm and you carry it. It's definitely stunning. I don't find that it's heavy actually. I find that it's got a bit of weight but not heavy. But yeah, if
You
I had
didn't
the
find it
lifestyle,
heavy?
Amy, I would buy it.
But it was an
Just
empty
because.
bag.
Sorry?
You didn't find it heavy with that amount of I guess with that amount of leather, you would think that it's heavier. Maybe that's why you didn't find it heavy.
True. That's a good point. True. And also, I was holding it. I wasn't really like, I was just holding it and just with handheld bags, right? When you hold a handheld bag, it does seem lighter. So maybe that's why I felt that it wasn't that heavy.
Because I was thinking in a way like, okay, because now it's empty. Once you put stuff in it, and this is a rather large bag. Once you put stuff in it, and then you have to hold it while you're probably walking or shopping, it's gonna be so heavy. Like you're in your mind, you're like, what did I just do? Why did I buy this? Why am I bringing this bag?
Oh man.
But yeah,
there was a comment. There was a comment about the sponge.
oh, that one on the bottom.
Somebody said it looks like a what? Let me see. I saw somebody said looks like noodles.
That is so true. Yeah, they are definitely trendy. I mean, it's a whole look in itself. I think you either love it or you hate it. And the latest one that I've seen, which Kat has tried on, is the chain pouch. So same pouch, but I think this one is actually a little smaller looking than the previous one. Or maybe they just have different sizes. But with this extra thick, super chunky chain, I think the first time I saw it again was on, a blogger that I followed. Obviously, it looked amazing on her because she's like, what, 5'10", super slim and tall. But oh my gosh, when I saw this, I was like, wow, it looks cool, but I know for sure I won't be able to pull it off. And you also have to think that, these styles, I guess I like to poke fun at it, but it's also because they're so trendy. I don't know for how long you will actually like this bag for. I mean, you really have to love the brand so much and appreciate the quality of the leather so much and really be so passionate. Because when I walked into that Bottega store in Las Vegas, the salesperson, the SA there that was helping me, there was no other client. So he was basically, he spent the whole time with me, and me and my husband, we were there. And literally, he could talk about the whole history, the designer, the direction, the vision, all those things. Like we were like, like we were just browsing. Literally, we were thinking in and out 5 minutes, but we stood there for like a good half an hour because he had so much to say. And it's great because I learned a lot, but it's just you have to be so passionate to love this brand. Anyway, what did you think of this bag, Kat, when you tried it on?
Okay, I'm gonna be as neutral as possible. Firstly, when I went in, it's definitely attractive because it's you see this giant chain that you think would be used to lock your gate, and now it's on this leather bag. Like, what is that? You immediately you would just you go for a beeline and you grab it. So the chain is, I've heard that it's very heavy. I think it's heavy, okay, compared to the bag, because the leather is it's smaller and it's light. So with the chain's weight overpowers the bag. It's a trend bag. It's one of those bags that you buy because you love the look. It goes with your whole outfit. It's just one of those things that you buy because you just love it. You know that you're buying something that is not going to last forever, but in 20 years you can say, look at this thing that I bought, which is the trend of the year 2020, in 2050 when you say things like that. So yeah. Okay, now the me right in the middle where you see so I've got me holding the phone, and then I've got the one that's chained like this, carrying the bag like a knapsack. I thought, wow, I look like a cool construction worker. giant chain, you know, like the bag's so heavy, I need to chain it to my bag. And there was this giant wristlet version where he was like, oh, can you put it, you know, you can hook it together and make it like a giant wristlet. Can you guys just zoom in and look at this? Look at my biceps. They are working hard to lift that wristlet up. Okay, so that's just me laughing at it. But if you love it, go for it. Because it's definitely one of those bags that everybody would want to try. Everyone will want to pick it up from you and say, let me try it. Let me take a photo with it. And it'll always be a talking piece. So, you know, it's fun.
So I want to ask you, so that one where it's like a wristlet, that's not the same bag, it's a different bag?
It's the same. So you can tie it all the way.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you. Wow. It's true. It will be a conversation piece. Okay, so I added this one because I thought we were talking about pouch already. Let's just add the other pouch that they have that's pretty, like, I'm seeing it everywhere now. There's different sizes. So I'm featuring the small in the middle and the large on the left. So there's also a medium size, which is in between these two sizes. Okay, first thought is still, again, that pouch look, very puffy, tons of leather. Like, just look at how yummy the leather is. So much leather on the outside, on the inside, completely lined. The way it opens is this magnetic, I think it's this magnetic closure. It's like the whole thing is like wrapped in leather. I don't know how heavy it is. This is just pictures that I took from online. But when I look at this, it does look more practical. And it actually reminds me of a bag that I used to have. I had a Coach bag that is kind of very similar sort of shape, and it was all leather as well, except the inside. And it was something that I worn on the shoulder a lot. It's kind of like become this hobo style. I want to say it was back in 2000 and wow, I can't remember, 2005, 6 maybe. Yeah, I actually don't mind this. I wouldn't buy it, honestly, but it's another style of the shoulder pouch. What do you think about it, Kat?
I'm trying to hold my giggles because I'm just, as you're talking, I'm also like looking at the comment section. And Shanna, so before I give my comment, Shanna says, this shoulder pouch looks like one of those old movies where they bring a bag for traveling where you hang it at a stick. You guys are just, you Luxies, you're so naughty. Okay, now just the bag. Okay, let's come back to the bag. I actually prefer the one in the middle. So I did a video a few months ago about types of bags that I actually won't necessarily want to buy, because the one on the left, it's just way too big and it becomes this big sack. And you can see, because the leather is so soft, it's one of those bags that you just keep digging. And it might become an irritant in the future. But I do actually quite like the one in the middle, which, you know, it's like a mid-size and it still looks pretty chic and sophisticated. I like it. I like the minimalistic look of it. There's no Bottega branding, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think there's any Bottega branding. So this is definitely, if you have passionate for the brand, this is definitely very iconic looking, except it doesn't have the intricato, the weaving.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. I kind of like it. Would I get it? If I'm passionate about the brand, I would. I think I would.
Yeah, I think that's it boils down to that, because like I said, I used to have a bag that's like, it was a Coach, but it was like it was a patent leather, and it was like pretty much this similar kind of vibe. Like, you just put it on your shoulder, and like if you had a lot of things inside, it would just become this like puddle. But you do have to dig, like you said, but it's a look. It's a look.
It's a look.
All right. We're not stopping there. So this one, the padded cassette, they also had a version of the cassette that's not padded, but the padded one is the cool one, in my opinion. It looks so cool. It just looks so puffy. You just want to squeeze it. It just reminds me of those air paper. I don't know why. Like when I look at this, I'm like, oh, it's just so squeezy looking. Again, Kat had a chance to try it on, so I definitely want to know what she's thinking about it. I feel like if there's a Bottega bag that I would buy, if I were to buy one, it would be something like this, because it's signature, you know, the Intrecciato woven leather, and oh, it's just, this one speaks to me. If I were to get one, it would be something like this. What did you think about it?
Absolutely agree. So again, another mistake to try this, because every time I go into a luxury shop, they'll take out all these bags and I'm like, nah, just try to take a photo. But when I tried this on, I was like, my heart skipped a beat, because oh my gosh, it is the puffiest. It's puffy. It's so plush and comfy. So what the essay told me is that this bag is inspired by the race cars, you know, the Ferraris and all that, the leather seats. So it gives that kind of very luxurious feel. And I don't know how true that is, but that's how they inspired it. So when you touch this, you kind of feel like you're sitting on this really expensive, luxurious leather couch, leather seat. And oh my gosh, it feels like it. And it's okay. And in terms of opening and the size, it's a moderately sized flat bag. So it's like a small flat bag. You'll probably be able to bring out your essentials. It's not very big, even though it looks very big, but it fits just enough, like a kind of like almost like a mini small bag. I actually, after trying this bag, I walked outside and I saw a lady in Ion Orchard, and she had it in black. I was like, oh man, okay. Matches fashion, when are you having your Black Friday sale? Because this might be something, if you want to get something from the brand, this might actually be one that you will actually get a lot of utility out of over time. Like you can actually use it for many, many years to come, and it still looks good. So Black Friday sale.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I know in advance. By the way, did you have a chance to try the flat one, not the padded one?
Yes, I actually did. So you know the essay, I didn't take a photo. My mind was blown by the cuteness and the luxuriousness of this bag. I tried the thin version because at first when I put this on, I was thinking, oh, it might be a bit too puffy. And he's like, oh, why don't you try the thin version? And when I put on the thin version, the essay told me this is the version that most guys would buy. So actually it's very popular among the male luxury shoppers. They like the thinner version. Maybe it's not so, you know, away from the body. And it does look like you could fit a little bit more. But when you wear the thin version after trying the thicker padded version, it doesn't stand out as much. It like suddenly it's like, oh, I think the padded one is better. So ladies like the padded, guys like the thin version.
Oh, that's so interesting. And do you remember if the leather was the same? Like aside from the padding, is the actual leather the same leather, or is it a different texture of leather as well?
Feels more matte. So it feels like regular leather, like just normal, you know, just leather, right? But this one is glossy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
Yummy.
I had to get out quickly. I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I love, like, even with I know we're kind of still talking about this bag, but the essay that helped me in Las Vegas, he was even explaining to me that the triangle buckle is like, you know, these are just like details that, you know, you don't know the brand if you don't know the brand, and there's no branding on it really. But if you know the details and you remember, like if you know the interwoven leather, if you know the triangle, you just know it's a Bottega bag. So
True.
yeah, it was so interesting. He was so passionate about it. chain cassette. So another version of the same bag, but with chunky chains again. And especially with chunky chains, as we're seeing on the runway for, spring and summer on LV. Was it? No, there wasn't that many chunky chains. No, there was not. I don't
And there was
remember
a
seeing
chunky
it on
chain
Chanel.
necklace in
Sorry?
LV. There was a chunky chain necklace at LV.
Right, yeah, definitely for LV. So yeah, if I were just to give a quick comment about this one compared to the one previously where the strap is just a regular strap and it definitely looks way more comfortable because it's a leather strap, right? And it's just flat sitting on your body. I definitely prefer it over this one. This one is, it has that wow factor. It has that, you're definitely edgy. But it looks very uncomfortable to me. What were your thoughts when you tried it on?
Is exactly what you just said. It's super uncomfortable. I don't think you can see it in the picture, but I'm like my shoulder is sort of like this because the chain, this people is the kind of chain that you use to gate up your house if you're going for a long holiday. This is the kind of chain that you go couple of loops and you put a lock that's this big. It is so heavy. This is definitely one of those bags that you buy for trend. I like the fact that they had the little top handle. I think that is it gives it a bit of that interesting and helps you like handheld. Anything with a little handheld definitely gives it that extra factor. But that long chain, that long shoulder strap, that's just ridiculous. Please don't.
It's funny that you were mentioning the top handle because I was just thinking, yeah, everyone complains about the Chanel 19 having too much chain and too heavy, but I don't know. When I look at this and I think about the Chanel 19, it doesn't even compare. The Chanel 19 is much, much more comfortable, and I don't even feel the chain on the Chanel 19. I mean, it does have more of the weight on the bag versus like a lot of the weight is concentrated on the chain, but it's really not that bad. But when I look at this, I'm like, no, I really do think that this one would be heavy. And I'm glad that Kat just confirmed it because for me, just looking at it, I'm like, if Kat thinks it's heavy and Kat is pretty strong, I'm going to be like dead if I wore this bag.
You'll be walking in a store like this.
Oh my goodness. All right, so that's definitely an interesting one. Another last one. Let's take another another look at a last one. This one's just looks a little bit more, normal. The Arco bag. So there's two versions of the Arco. There's the Intrecciato, and then there's also the regular one where there's not that weaving going on, but the weaving is actually oversized, so you can't really even. It's not that bad. Like you don't even really notice it that much. I actually really like this bag. And I like it in all the sizes, actually. I don't even mind the larger sizes. If I needed a work bag, I feel like this would be such a wonderful looking work bag. Now, I don't know how sturdy it is. Like if you start putting your files and your laptop, I don't know how that's going to work out. And I normally discourage using luxury bags for work bags anyway, just because I don't feel like they're built to be carrying laptops. But aside from that, I just really like the look of it. On the inside, it's lined in suede. So I think it's bonded suede. Basically, again, when you think about Bottega, you think leather. And when I saw it, even that little mini version that you can wear crossbody just looks so cute. I think they all have feet too. And the way it opens and closes looks very easy to get in and out. So that's my thought. Would I get it? No, but I just feel like that's another one that's really cool and quite sophisticated, and that someone who is considering maybe like a more serious bag can look into that, because I don't know. What do you think, Kat?
So it's interesting because this one, about maybe about half a year ago, this was the bag that I was considering to be my black bag purchase for my black bag. I wasn't considering the mini, not the small. I think there was one more size between the medium and large. I think there was a small. Is that the
Yes,
small
there's
on
a
the left
small.
side?
So it's in between the
Okay.
mini and the medium, I think.
Yes. So I loved when it was full black. I thought it was good. Just the price point was, it was a little bit more than what I wanted to pay, and I loved it. Okay, just overall the look. It looks, it doesn't have much of the branding. It has that luxurious leather, and because I wanted it for work, in semi work and going out, it has enough space. The only thing is there wasn't any safety to this bag because the flap just closes over. And let me just see if you can see. All right, so if you guys look on the middle picture, the medium, where you see the leather, the tabs connected to the strap, the flap closes over, and you kind of like slip it between the bag and that connector to the strap. So it's sort of like just squeezed in so that you can close it. And to me, it will only be secure if you use the bottom part of the bag, right? But the moment you fill up the bag and it, like expands like that, that flap will not close in anymore. It'll just be hanging like this open, almost like a basket. So it looks good. In practical terms, especially if you're thinking about using it and filling it up, it's not going to look as put together like the picture on the right side. Actually, the flap's going to like flip up a bit like this. You got to try it in store. I've tried it a few times and I just couldn't figure it out. I'm like, the lack of closure, like secure closure, bothers me, especially with that price point as well.
That's a really good point, which is why I was saying I'm not sure how it would look like if you start putting stuff inside, but just from the look from just these modeling pictures, it does look really good to me. But I'm glad that you tried it so that you're able to give that feedback. I didn't remember you saying that Arco that you were considering it, but yeah, it makes sense that you did because it does look like a decent work bag, right? Okay, let's jump into Dior. The Bobby. A lot of you have asked us about the Bobby, and I actually have I had a chance to try it out as well when I was shopping for my Lady Dior. I can't remember which size I tried it. Probably, I think that my essay showed me the medium. First impression was, okay, I was noticing that rounded shape on the bottom, so that alone is a turn off for me. It's just my personal preference. I don't really like bottoms that are not straight because I feel like things don't really sit right. I know this one is not that big of a deal. Like it's just more rounded on the edge, but I was just, I was just picturing the roundness and I was already turned off by it. The second thing that I was turned off about is the opening, because the opening is actually, you would think by looking at just these pictures that it would be like a whole opening, right? But it's not. It's actually kind of like a cutout on the top. So I don't even remember if I tried it on my body. I just know that my essay tried to show it to me and I said, oh no, thanks. But he loves the bag. I want to know what you're thinking about it since you tried it out, Kat.
It's definitely a bag that is easy to use. With it has a back pocket as well, which is something I love. It's an easy going bag. If you get it in the, what is that print called again? Canage printing? Is it the one with the pattern?
Yes.
What's it called? I forgot the name of the print, but anyway, if you get it, obviously it brings the bag to be more casual. But if you can get it in the leather side, the full leather, it definitely looks more sophisticated. But essentially, it's easy to use. But I just feel like it's not. It doesn't scream luxurious to me, and with that price point, I just feel it's very. I I don't know what's the right word. It's just so maybe too casual. And in the next picture, I think I also put in the large. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one. It is surprisingly very small. Like it looks very, it looks like you could fit a ton in it, but all I have is like my foundation, my cushion. I have the thin O case, which is maybe a little thicker than what it should be. Just maybe I've got extra 4 or 5 cards inside. I've got my 6 key ring holder, and that's about it. You could put maybe 1 or 2 more things on the top, but for the size, I was quite surprised that it's actually it's a tight fit for stuff. So
let me ask you. So you said that it doesn't feel like you couldn't quite point the finger, but you just feel like it's not luxurious enough or a luxury bag enough. Do you feel like it's because of the print? What if you tried it in the leather?
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, okay, that's a good point. I tried it in the print, then it just doesn't feel so good. I don't know. Maybe it was a bit light. I know that I want heavy bags, but it just didn't give me a substantial feel. The leather one is a little bit better, and the leather one seems to have a bit more space. I'm not really sure why. Like maybe it's more pliable, I guess. And I just want to say there are better bags to buy.
True.
Unless you like this look and you really like a more casual luxury look, then go for this bag. I don't know. In photos, it looks nice, but when I tried it on, I just thought it doesn't scream Dior to me. Like it just feels like it's missing an element of Dior. I don't know how to put it in words.
I think I know what you mean, because for me, I associate Dior with the Lady Dior because that's the ultimate bag to get from Dior, and this doesn't do that for me. Basically, is that what you mean too?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, let's jump into the saddle bag, which is of course not new. It's been around a while ago and then brought back a few years ago. Honestly speaking, between the bobby and the saddle, I actually prefer the saddle. And I know we make fun of the shape, but when you carry it, it actually is really attractive. I know that now you can also buy those, extra long strap to make it more modern and wear it as a crossbody. But I really do like the look of it just on the armpit, basically, on the shoulder. Especially, maybe not in the print, but I really like it in maybe a white color, because I think once I saw the white color on someone, I was like, wow, it just gave me this whole new light. Like I suddenly like the bag even more, because I don't know if I dislike the bag. I just know that I wouldn't really buy a bag like this just because the shape is rounded anyway. Like I just don't like any rounded bottom, because I know all your things inside is going to be all oriented in a weird way. I'm just so used to playing Tetris and putting everything standing up and know that it's easy to grab and put it back. Whereas you can't do that with this bag, right? So you're literally buying it for the shape, for maybe the fact that you loved it back in 2000. But yeah, if between the bobby and this, I would personally pick the saddle. What did you think when you tried it again this time?
Absolutely agree. Like I always make fun of the saddle bag. It looks like a body organ. But when you put them side by side, the bobby and this, I make a beeline for the saddle. I just feel like there is something unique about it. I can't believe I'm saying that. But
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like this and bobby, and the price point is pretty close. I go for the saddlebag because this just looks iconic, like Dior iconic. It's not my preferred shape, but yeah, immediately it just looks like wow. It's sort of like maybe kind of like the Bottega's pouch bag and the Bottega pouch with the chain. Like if you want to go in a pouch, get the chain version. Just go all the way. So this is maybe probably how I feel between the bobby and the saddle. Like, if you're gonna buy Dior, you're gonna spend this price, get the saddle. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying that, because I'm not a fan of the saddle. It's not my preferred shape. But yeah, and from practical perspective, you can fit more in the saddlebag. It's just that they don't have that. Maybe you go back a couple of slides, Amy. Like the side of the, like the little bit of covering, I think, from the bobby bag. There's that little bit that, like that corners. I don't know why did they like block the entry into the bag. It's like, why make the opening so much smaller? The saddlebag doesn't have that, and it's just open, stuff your things inside, simple, go. So
yeah, I didn't get it either. I thought that it defeated the whole purpose, because the bobby actually looks really roomy to me, but because of the opening, it would drive me crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so one last one before we conclude Dior, the Lady D-LITE. So I actually had a chance to try this one on, and first impression before trying it on, I was going crazy nuts for this bag. I don't know what it is. There's something about this bag, maybe the look, maybe the fact that I already love the Lady Dior in general, and the fact that this is more kind of like it just looks more like a modern, everyday Lady Dior that I can make use of. So I was having this like in my mind. I was like, oh, I absolutely love this bag, so I have to go and see it and try in person. But when I tried it in person, I was underwhelmed. So that was quite disappointing, because maybe it's the fabric, like I thought that the fabric was the cool part about this bag, which I think is the whole reason why they created this D-LITE line. But when I saw the fabric, I just didn't like it anymore. I just felt like it cheapened it. I don't know, maybe if there's just something missing about the fabric, maybe they just needed to make it more, I don't know what it is. But when I held it and when I tried it, I finally decided that, okay, at least I can forget about it, because I was obsessed about it for a while before I tried it on. And when I saw it, I was like, first of all, not worth the price. Second of all, I thought the fabric would be a lot nicer, like more luxurious than that, but it just didn't feel that way. I want to know what you think about this one.
100% agree with you, because this bag, when I wasn't crazy about it, but I thought, wow, like this version with the prints and the whole Christian Dior over it, and just looks so much. It's like it makes the bag a little bit more approachable for this Dior, because I love, like, if you all follow me for a while, like the Lady Dior has been on my wish list, still on my wish list for a long time. And one of my biggest concerns is that it's a bit too formal. Like, how do I use this bag on a day-to-day basis? And is it too, old for me? So when I saw it in this leather, this material, I thought, wow, finally, because it's now, modernized, it's more wearable, it's more approachable for a Lady Dior. But exactly like how you felt when you saw it in store, I was so underwhelmed. I feel like when I saw it, I was like, oh, it just looks like a cloth Lady Dior. It lacked the sheen of the leather. Like, if you put the leather version of a Lady Dior next to it, you see the Lady Dior in leather. It's like shiny, it's glossy, it's so puffy. And then you see this version, it's like flat, lacks the shine and shimmeringness of it. And it just didn't stand out as much anymore. And I feel like the color, because it's on material and cloth, it doesn't come out as bright as it does in pictures. So I feel that that's what made me a bit underwhelmed and almost disappointed, because it seemed like it had so much potential to be like the casual Lady Dior. But nah.
Oh man, you described it so perfectly. I was gonna say, like, it needed that shine. It needed something like maybe a thread that goes through it that makes it shiny or bright. But no, it was flat. It was completely flat. It looks amazing when people take pictures of it with the bag, like, you know, all the bloggers that have it. But aside from that, when you actually see it in person, it's quite underwhelming. I don't know if you all feel that way about it. If you guys know, if you guys have tried it, let me know what you think.
And
The
the price.
Yeah, that concludes all the bags that we wanted to talk about. What did you guys think? Of course, getting into the live Q&A portion, make sure that you start your question with a bunch of question marks in front so that we can see it, because we're on a different platform. But let me get out of the screen and go back to here. All right. Oh man, Kat, I should have gone to the beginning, because now I'm already like, I can't see the first questions. I'm like stuck at 8:20. So I apologize for that. I totally forgot to go back to the beginning before I started this slide.
Me too. I was reading, but it's okay. I was going through them. I think there were like 2 questions so far. So if
Okay.
you're still here, we just pop your question again for us, because this platform, like the comments were just, I mean, amazing. All of you were like commenting, you know, sharing your comments about and talking to each other about the bags. But what happens is we will lose the thread.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Anyway, this is not a question, but I'm Bag Happy says, what Danielle Lee is doing is working because the brand is being noticed. It's true. It was such an old lady brand for quite a while, and now some people are buying it again. Not just some people, I think a lot of people are buying it. Even we're all like, you know, we normally don't deviate from our, you know, most loyal brands, and even we're like, oh, it looks amazing.
Yeah. Okay, while we look for the questions, can maybe all of you should comment, like, do you like this kind of diversion, deviation? Because, you know, we love our LV, we can keep going on and on about it. We love Chanel, we love Hermes. But yeah, we saw the comment like 2 weeks ago, right? And took a look at a few brands. But if you do like this, let us know, you know, if we can look at other brands, like any other brands you would like us to look at. I can always go shopping.
Yeah, Kat takes amazing pictures with with the bags. So you guys, because you guys already know how we look like, right? So you can kind of judge based on what we do with our bag reviews and then these other bags. So Eliza is making this comment. I used to have this woven shoulder bag from Bottega. Really loved it. Used it for a year. Very soft and light. Corner wear is bad. Sold it 1/4 of the. That is exactly why we say you have to be so passionate about these brands, because honestly speaking, aside from the top 3, Chanel, Hermes, LV, that can potentially keep their value much better. It's still not a guarantee, right? But they do better. Everything else is passion purchases, right? You buy them because you love them.
Totally. And you know, the thing about luxury is we're supposed to buy them forever, but we're supposed to, you know, luxury is something that we save up for and we buy. We don't really have the thought of reselling it. Like, you're supposed to use the bag, not buy and say, oh, when can I resell to get a thing? So I think that just clouds our decision as well. Like, if you love the bag and you love the design, it goes with your whole look, then go for it. Like, don't be afraid of the fact that you can't resell it, because that shouldn't be your intention in the first place.
I know. I almost wonder if maybe YouTube started this whole trend of
reselling,
like selling and also talking about resale value, just because before I never thought about resale value when I bought my bags. Obviously, I didn't buy a lot of bags that had a lot of resale value because they all worth nothing now. But you know what I mean? I definitely feel like YouTube did start this trend, kind of.
True.
Yeah. So MK, I don't like the chain pouch, but it does suit Kat very well, at least on the pictures. You know, that's the thing. Kat has some real serious muscles. I mean, she's not big, but she just has you know, it shows her muscle shows through. Like I have muscles, but you can't see them because they're not they don't show through. So on me, it will look ridiculous. I think that's
MK
why it suits her. It has that grunge look.
MK saying it looks relaxed and effortless. You didn't see my shoulder muscles were like shaking because they were like.
Actually, totally unrelated. But as I was going through the slides, I was showing my husband, I'm like, "Oh, look at this cool tattoo on your arm," because I think it was like right here. I was like, "Oh man, she's so cool!" Like, I don't know any. Actually, I don't know anybody in person that has tattoos. I mean, they may have some, but like nothing cool like that.
Oh,
Not like
you.
large ones that you can really see. Another comment by MK, the shoulder pouch equals 2020 version of Chanel cocoon.
Ooh.
Yeah. I remember the Chanel cocoon. That's the thing. I like I said, I had a bag that was kind of similar shape. It's very 2000. I feel like that's probably why it kind of looks something that you've seen before. Reading these comments really quickly, like a lot of them so funny. Thank you. Yes. If you guys have been enjoying this show, make sure to give us likes, subscribe to both our channels.
So
Okay.
cool to see so many Luxies here. If you don't know, if you came in a little later, you can always go back and watch, rewind to the front because we had all these slides. But yeah, we are calling everybody Luxies.
Yeah. So another comment for the Chanel 19 and mini rectangular. I had both Chanel light beige and mini tweed houndstooth, played for a few months and sold even price and got a classic medium. Finally, the true to myself. Amazing, Eliza. That's the thing. The 19 and the minis. Okay, the 19 is more trendy, but I love it. I do love it. Minis are definitely very they're classic, but it's still a size that it's not suitable for everyone. And everyone's crazy about the minis because of the price. It's so much more affordable compared to the classic sizes. But if your heart is on the classic,
Yeah.
I know it's a large sum of money, but you bite the bullet and you just know you made a right decision if you feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of
Gina
people
came in. Gina is here. And
Oh.
yeah, Gina just did a video was it this morning, Gina? I think so. All about my luxury bags. And I was watching it and I'm like, girl, you've got 3 classic flaps. Girl. The jumbo, the medium, beige, clear, and black. I'm like, that's it. We're coming to your house.
I know. I know Gina's collection is epic. I love that she has, you know, like no judgment obviously, but like there are people who have like so many bags you can't count. Gina has, you know, enough bags, but all her bags you can see it's all well thought out. And yeah. So happy for her new unboxing too for her birthday as well. So a lot of people are saying that they love the padded cassette.
We like it. We like it.
Yeah. I'll let you know when Matches Fashion has it. It's probably coming out really soon because Black Friday is supposed to be in November. Is it mid-November? Is it 20 something? Can't remember. And I think usually Matches Fashion does their sort of Black Friday. They don't call it Black Friday, but they have like a sale a little earlier. So it would be, I think it would be either end October or early November, I think.
Not good. Not good. Not good at all.
MK again. I don't know about Bottega Veneta bags. Where has the DNA gone? Nowadays, their bags look like Chanel X Early's Jill Sander bags. I mean, they did have a direction change, right? With the new creative director.
I do like. I mean,
I like it.
It's different, right? It's different. I feel like maybe. I mean, I used to have the Bottega Intricato, the one, the weave. I mean, the old, like long time ago, the hobo style bag, which is very classic from Bottega. And for the longest time, that was the kind of bags that they just came out with, which are beautiful. Like that is their iconic. How do you say? It's like it's so signature of Bottega that the moment you see the weaving, you like Bottega. It's kind of like, I feel a little bit like Bulgari. You know, Bulgari, you see the serpent head and that's it. They don't really go much. So for these brands, they just stick to their classic look for a long time. And with the new creative designer, he kind of transformed it. I think I like it. I think I like the change. Whether I would buy it is a totally different thing, but I like the change because for a while I feel Bottega was just put on a back burner for a lot of people. Like nobody just thought about it. Like, oh yeah, Bottega, and there's no, not to say hype, but just no thought about it. And with this, people are like, oh yeah, Bottega. You know, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, 100% agree. I feel like it's just like every brand is trying to either modernize or come up with a style that's super trendy and modern. I guess Bottega is just doing the same thing, but yeah, I feel like it's just modernized, but that's, you know, we to each their own. So Judith is saying try Net-a-Porter or Net-a-Porter or Matches Fashion. Those two have the lowest prices for luxury brands, at least for Guam. That is actually a good point because I made a video a few months ago now, I think, and talked about all the sites that I recommend for luxury fashion. Obviously, you can buy all the brands there, but they do carry a lot, and depending on where you live, the prices are different. So like maybe for me, I prefer Matches Fashion and I prefer Louisa Vuitton. Those are the two that I mainly shop at because like my Teresa, they don't include the additional duties and taxes for us. So it actually adds up. Net-a-Porter also doesn't include it for Canada anyway, but for you, it might be different, right? So it's always best to check as well. Maria, the padded cassette, the soft leather, lambskin leather is always lovely, but the leather gets spoiled, dirty from hand lotion, etc. Luxurious, but not an everyday bag. Might be hard to really use.
Good point. Good point. Talking me out of it, Maria.
Passion purchase, right? You're not buying it for, but it's true. Like in terms of wear and tear, just because not a lot of people have these bags and not a lot of people talk about it the same way we do. At the very least, not the ones that do those luxury reviews that talk about wear and tear. Because I think there's two types of reviews, right? There's like us, and then there's the types of reviews from like major bloggers that talk about styling more, but never about how it wears and everything, which you don't really know until you have the bag, basically.
Yeah.
And actually, sometimes when you even look at their bag and how it has worn, even though they don't talk about it, but you just see it, you're like, oh, maybe this bag doesn't wear that well.
True.
Oh, another comment by Emily. I actually really like the direction from Daniel Lee, incorporating his former Celine type clean lines, yet keeping the Bottega tradition.
I actually like the larger weaving. So like the padded, I actually like the larger weavings and even the Arco bag because the weave is like this big. I kind of like it. I don't know. Maybe it's this whole larger than life, larger is better. But with the weaving, I see that it becomes maybe not so like the wear and tear may not be so much. I don't know. I just get this feel because when I had my Bottega bag, because there are so many weaves, I'm always afraid when I was starting to use it that I might, turn my bag and I get hooked on something and, it'll turn. And I think one of the issues with the weave for Bottega is that over time, it starts to curve out because it's, almost like raw, unfinished leather at the side. But yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I do like the look too. So Shanna has this question: does the chain cassette padded isn't removable?
I can't remember, but I don't think so. Not the padded cassette. I could be wrong. But I don't think it's removable. Like if it was removable, you're gonna chain your gate with it.
That is true. But if you removed it, what would you put it in instead of that chain, though?
No, I don't think it's removable. I don't think they want to make it removable because they won't want you to use the chain on your other bags anyway. So I don't recall it being removable. It would be cool. It would be cool.
Another comment by Maria. The closure is reflecting both the Celine and an Hermes bag called Oxer.
Ooh, Oxer.
I don't know that one. While Kat looks it up, another comment by Maria. The Dior Bobby is an update of a very old Gucci equestrian pouch style from the 60s, a bag to compete with Gucci's retro moment.
So that's the Oxer. That's nice. Oh yeah, it does look like it, huh? So it's got the same kind of turned out look, and with the handles, only the handles a little bit shorter, but yeah, interesting, nice, good catch.
I think this is for you.
Oh,
question.
Do I prefer the Bobby or the Montaigne? I prefer the Montaigne. I think the Montaigne, even though they are both with this oblique print. Okay, now I got it. Sorry.
Yeah,
the oblique print.
Now.
It is. I was like, oh, I can't remember. The Montaigne had that big logo in the front, which is gold and all. I feel like that bag just looked more sophisticated, even though it's casual because the boxy and it's that canvas material. But between the Bobby and this Montaigne, I feel like the Montaigne just is a little bit more. It's got a bit more oomph to it. Yeah. So Montaigne.
I agree. I do like the Montaigne more too. I don't know. Maybe because it reminds me more of a classic shape, but overall aesthetically it just looks more pleasing too. There's just something about it. Yeah, if I had to choose between the two, I would go with the Montaigne as well. And I really do like the CD clasp being a little bit more oversized. But aside from that, if you get like the leather version, it's everything else is just plain, right? Yeah, I just like it more too. I don't know if this is a question for us, but I would assume so. Would you get another Celine bag? I think that's what the question is.
I think it's for me.
Yeah.
Celine, like a Celine box bag.
Oh, I wonder, is it for you or for us? Actually, would you get another Celine box bag?
No. And not because the bag is not nice. I loved it, but one of the reasons I let it go is because it was my trial bag. I was like, wow, so much money I can trial a bag. But it was really because I wanted to try out the size and the style before I decided that I really want to save up for Hermes Constance. So I love the bag to start off with because I know that you get a lot of use out of the Celine box bag. But I think I won't get it again because I realized that I don't like bags with partitions. So I like bags. Actually, I like the Bobby bag in the sense that you open and you see one hole. If that was like that, that's all I want. But with the box bag, if that's what you're talking about, I'm not a fan of this accordion style. Maybe not petition, but accordion style, where the bag kind of like opens up like this. And with the partitions, it also makes it really hard to close, and just things like that. I realized that's not the kind of bag that I would want to go for, which is maybe why like bags like the Pochette Matisse is also one that I just couldn't really figure out why it doesn't appeal to me. But the bag itself, so stylish, okay? Classic, modern, minimalistic, instantly recognizable that Celine box bag. And because there's not, only if you're in the luxury community, you know it. But otherwise, when people look at it, it's like beautiful. So yeah, for me personally, I won't, just because I don't like that style. I realized I don't like that style, actually. I realized.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I've never really come across someone who emphasized that point, like the fact that having these kinds of accordion partitions doesn't work for you. And then I started thinking about, because I just bought the trendy CC, and then I did used to have the Pochette Métis. I wonder if they are maybe a little different from the way your accordion style bags were, because the Celine one, it expands when it opens, right? Whereas the Pochette Métis, it doesn't expand, it just stays that way. Like you don't have to squeeze it to close it, really. I mean,
okay,
aside from maybe if it's really, really full, then you have to maybe push it down a bit. But I wonder if maybe that's one of the reasons why you didn't like the accordion styles that you had.
Possibly, which makes me irritated with partition bags. It could be a reason. Yeah, it could be. Like I found it very, like the mouth opens so wide, like
yeah, it just
like that, and then you gotta like close it over. So I feel like that's a good point. Like maybe bags that just open up too much, it's not something that appeals to me anymore. And I usually find that with bags that have partition.
Yeah, I wonder if that may be the reason, because I started thinking about it, and I'm like, how come I don't feel that way? And
That's a good point.
I'm just just wondering. But for sure, the ones with one hole is usually really, really practical. I think this is a comment. After I have used the saddle, I'm not sure I really needed the strap. I think she means the extra strap. It's comfortable to wear on the shoulder. That's exactly my point. Like I feel like the extra strap makes it more cool. But it really looks good on just the shoulder. When I see people wear it just on the shoulder, I just feel like it looks really good that way. Not saying I'm buying one, but just saying that.
I was just gonna say, are you getting converted to the saddlebag?
No. No, not at all. Plus the straps are really expensive. Like I just saw a comment, someone saying how their straps are so expensive. Oh, I love this comment. Thank you, ladies, for spending so much time and effort on the slides. Having tried some and seen these, suddenly feel Chanel and Hermes are so affordable and justify their prices.
With the price increases at Chanel. Okay, here's a maybe just for conversation for everybody. Do you all feel like with the like for us, I mean, maybe the previous years there were price increases, but they still haven't, a lot of the price increases is still in an affordable increase where you feel the pinch, but it's not so much where it's just mind-blowingly expensive. But I feel like for me, like, do you all feel like in this year especially, the price increases has tipped over a fine invisible line that a lot of us are now just going a bit like, wow, that's like a lot. That's like a lot. And it's making us look at other brands now. Like, yes, Chanel is still, ultimate, you want to save for it. But is it now that your eyes are opening up even to the Hermes, or maybe now you're going like, nah, that's it. I'm not touching Chanel anymore. Let's go elsewhere. Just want to hear your thoughts before
That's
I
a
share
good
mine.
point. Definitely want to know what everyone thinks about what Kat just said. Does it push you more towards the Hermes territory, or does it make you feel like I'll just look at other brands? There's so many options out there, right?
Yeah.
But about the price, it's so true. Like sometimes, you know, because we concentrate, or at least me, I concentrate a lot of my collection in mostly Chanel's nowadays, still LV. But when you look at even just the three brands that we were just looking at earlier, they're just as expensive. And when you have a favorite brand already, it's just like, oh, it's not that worth it. I mean, they're all nice, right? There's so many options, like I said earlier. They're all nice. And they're different vibes too. Yeah. When you have to work with what, you know, your limited resources, right? You gotta just pick and choose.
True.
You stay loyal and then just, you know, wait for the next Chanel bag that you want, or whatever Hermes bag that you want, or LV bag that you want, or do you branch out and buy these other more blogger trendy-ish bags, right? Also about price point, what Kat said is true. Like the increases lately have been just astronomical and frequent. But there's one thing that I like to do anyway is if you like a new release, like a brand new bag, and if you feel like you like it, or if you feel like you'll most likely like it a lot, just get it at the beginning. That's when you're gonna get it the best price. And if the price already to begin with is more acceptable, usually I find that's the case with LV and even Chanel. When I bought my Gabrielle, I believe I bought it when they only had one price increase. So it was still really reasonable. But now look at it, it's so expensive. So if you feel like you're gonna like that bag anyway, get it at the beginning. That's when you can get the most savings. So that's
Totally
just
agree. Totally agree.
a
I
little
think we like to know that I'm trying to put this in words, like we know that Chanel is really expensive and LV is also pretty expensive. But I guess the thing is, we like to know that if one day we decide that we don't like the bag anymore, or we want to change the style or change the design, we still can get a decent secondhand price of the bag. And I think that's the reason why no matter how much the price goes up, we will still gravitate towards those three pinnacle bag brands. Sure, Dior is fabulous, Bottega is great, and we always want to feel like there are other options to buy. But we're women, right? We love fashion. We change our minds. We get bored fast. It's yesterday's news. We're done with it. And then you realize, like, man, I'm getting a third of the price. I'm getting, such a deep discount on your secondhand price that it hurts, right? It hurts. So for me, to answer my own question is, yes, I am looking out at other brands. I'm just, my eyes are like, man, I don't like you now, Chanel. You're just way too expensive. My eyes are now focusing more. I mean, I'm always focused on LV, but it's just that I'm like looking at it now like, ooh, okay. Then when I look at the other brands, but of course, when I see the other brands like the $5,000 padded with chain, then I'm like, no. Even though you're an other brand that you're still cheaper than Chanel, you're still in a very heavy price point. But I look at the other brands' lower price point bags, which are still appealing to me, maybe in the 2,000 range, 3,000 range, which in Chanel you cannot get anymore, right? You're getting a walk and that's it. So in those perspectives, in that price point, I don't mind, like, just, okay, I don't mind getting one of those bags there for me to use, and it's a definite passion purchase. So for me, my mind is like, I'm going to use this bag. I'm not going to think so much about the resale price. So that's how I'm looking at it now. If I wanted to get a bag in the lower luxury price range.
Such good tips. And yeah, good way of thinking about it. Kimberly has a question or comment, I think, about the Dior fabric. I was trying to buy one, but they have loose thread problem. There were so many loose loops and not loose ends. It's ridiculous. Oh, wow. Dior can fix it, but still. Which bag were you looking at? Were you looking at the D-LITE, or were you looking at maybe the book tote? I'm just so curious now. That is not good.
It's like it's not woven in properly. Still, it's Dior.
No, I'm just wondering, like, I haven't looked at it close enough to know, because at the moment I saw it, I'm like, no thanks, just take it back. I hardly even tried it on my body. I just kind of took it and like, okay. That's how it was for me, the D-LITE. And MK is saying 1000% agree. Fell in love with it when I saw it in picture because it's more casual, but so underwhelmed when I saw it in person. Very plastically, almost fake. Plasticky. I didn't think about plasticky, but definitely it was flat. It was very flat looking.
Almost.
Michelle, which size saddle do you think is the best, small or medium? Are you thinking of getting one? I'll let you answer it first.
Michelle, come and join me on my channel. I don't think you know my gripe about saddlebag. No, my tease about the saddlebag. If I were to get it, but I'm not going to get it, but if I were to get it, I get it in the medium. The size that I tried in store, I believe, was the small. If you're a mini bag lover and you don't carry much, like you really just carry your phone, your wallet, hand sanitizer, then I think the small is good enough. But I think I like a little bit more space. And with the whole Dior saddle, it's like I would go for the medium. And I don't think it's very much heavier. Yeah, I go for the medium. The bigger organ.
Yeah. But actually, I want to comment on your comment. So I'm a mini bag lady, right? I am. Okay, I have lots of mini bags. If you know if you follow my collection, but I would still get the medium. You know why? Because the small saddle, because of the shape, it doesn't fit the Max phone.
Oh.
No. So no way, there's no way I'm getting the small. Plus, like, I think the price difference is not that, is it that big of a price difference? I don't think it's that big of a difference. Yeah. If it doesn't fit my Max phone and I'm spending that kind of money, I'm spending Dior money, there's no way I'm getting the medium for sure.
Sure.
But I'm not getting one. That was your next question. Okay, Shanna. Girls, do you have experience when you are carrying a luxury bag, you get some kind of look from some senior colleagues from other departments? How do you respond? Not that we are showing off. How do you respond? I don't know if I've ever come across that, but let's not, maybe for me, it's not about like colleagues, but maybe family members. Maybe that's more my scenario. For me, because it's family, I just say thank you. I don't know. Thank you as in like, because they usually the comment is not so much like about, oh, like you think you're too rich, or are you showing off or whatever with your bag while you're carrying this? It's not usually like that, the comments. It's more like, oh, fancy, like whatever, Chanel bag or LV bag, like that's usually how that is. So I just say thank you and I move on. But I wonder, what would you do, Kat, if it was her scenario, I guess?
I think I've always been known in my office to be the crazy bag lady. So and they know like I have no life savings because all is in my bag. Like my so I think they just look at me like disappointed, like this girl, she's gonna be in trouble. But no, I haven't had any like really like people look at my bag like go like I don't think I have, or maybe I don't notice it. But assuming that I did, I I think I would just it's really kind of like it's not me, it's you. Like what I do with my money is my business. Um, I think I also am conscious of what I carry in my office as well. Like if I know that I'm going to my office space that most people already know I'm a crazy bag lady, then I feel more comfortable to carry it. But if I'm going to an office, because I do go around different offices and I know that there will be senior colleagues that are not familiar with me, I just don't bring my luxury bags. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point. But I just wonder maybe I wonder if Shanna's comment is more about someone who is really just nasty, because there are
Yeah.
people like that, right? And I really like the way you said it. It's more about them, not about you. It's like it like they are the one with the problem. Like whatever I carry is my business, is none of yours type of thing. So I don't even know. I don't even know how I would respond to it. I would probably just try to ignore it.
Probably.
Yeah, but senior colleague, yeah, it's tough because you kind of have to work with them, right? So I
That's
mean,
true.
it's
Hard.
it's
It's really hard.
how they
This is like personality issues. Like they just don't like seeing what they see, and it probably comes off like this girl.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's not even about the luxury bag in that case because they're just using that as a way to like say something about you. I feel like it could be about anything. So in that case, what do you say to someone who's just being nasty, right?
Yeah.
You
True.
either just tell them off, like mind your own business, or right? I don't know. It's
Hard.
tough.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been put in. Have any of you been put in this situation? If you have, how do you all respond to it? I've never had any like confrontation with anyone with my bag. I do know there are some colleagues who they like make fun of it, like wow, your bag's so expensive, like things like that, wow, your bag's so expensive. And you know what, I don't, for me personally, I don't go and say no, not expensive. I don't lie about it because they are saying it because they know it's expensive. So I'll just say, yeah, it is, man, it cost me a lot of money, and I just end it there because I'm acknowledging that it's expensive, but I'm not boasting about it. I'm just actually saying, yeah, it was. We don't want to talk about it. We don't
Yeah.
talk about it.
Good way to just end it and then be like, okay, shut up now,
Yeah.
All right. Just know I am new to buying big luxury brands such as Chanel. When is it too late to get an item from a particular season? Looking for a small trendy CC in green that came out in 20A. So that's Fall Winter Act 1. Based on personal experience, it really just depends on like the boutique near you, how much stock they get, first of all, and how much demand there is. Because where I live, there's only one store, and there's limited stock, like very limited stock, but very, very high demand. In Vancouver, there's a lot of demand. So usually for us, when is it too late? It's like after launch date, it's too late. Like basically, that's how it is. It's like literally that first week is if there's more units for that particular bag, after that week, it's gone. Usually after launch day, it's gone. Usually
When is
before
it too
launch
late?
day, it's sometimes gone. So it's hard to tell. Depends where you are. Depends at your local boutique how they are, because there are places where they always either receive more stock later or they just have more and less demand. just because of where they're located. So it's hard to tell. So definitely try to work with an essay. You got to build that relationship. You got to watch our previous live stream and get all those tips in. What would you say about this question, Kat?
Oh, when is it too late? You answered it right. I was going to say yesterday. Yesterday was too late, because if it's a hot item, all the VIPs would have gotten it yesterday, and it's too late. And it's a sad truth, you know. Like one thing about Chanel, and even the hot items from LV, is that the rare picks are already booked, right? Because they are so limited. But don't lose hope. Try and get an essay and ask, because like for me, I wanted this one bag from LV. So I'm not talking much about LV. And it took my essay 6 months to hunt it down for me, because it was one of those runway pieces that, you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's just that they're so limited that they have to source it for you around, and they can do it. But you need that connection to the essay. And 20A is not too long ago. So you might still have an opportunity to find the bag. You just need to go and like convince an essay that you know to help you out. And they sometimes can, because, you know, if the bag is not sold in, say, the next country, they might be able to, you know, pull some connections to get the bag for you. But
yeah, that essay relationship is so important. And like I said, it really depends on the store, because just using the example of my graffiti reissue, it was like sold out so quickly here in Vancouver, but I went to Las Vegas a few months later and they still had it. So it's just like, it just really depends. Catherine is watching from Sweden at 5 a.m.
Wow.
Thank you so much. I know MK is also watching super early, so thank you guys. You are our Luxies for sure. Okay, New Way has a question for Kat. I'd like to know if you're looking at any Celine. Oh, okay. I think that's she's re-explaining her question earlier.
Not at the moment. I am looking at another brand, which Amy doesn't know, but you know, if I have an unboxing.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. Looking forward to that unboxing. Where is it gonna be? Did you buy it yet though?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I'm still looking at it.
Curious. Making me curious. Okay, so this is a comment. The YSL puffer had terrible corner wear in less than a month.
Ugh.
Oh no.
YSL is a good brand that we should talk about one day.
That's true. I mean, we only did 3 and we only did a few bags per brand. I mean, we did a lot of Bottega because it was just like the brand that everyone talks about and that we haven't really looked at all. But yeah, YSL for sure. Yeah, Prada, YSL.
Okay, taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Another comment about the DIOR D-LITE. So disappointing. Looks so cheap. Cannot justify the price. Would rather get a pop of color of the Lady Dior. Agree, yeah.
True.
I don't know what it is. It just looks so promising, but it wasn't at the end.
And I think also the price point, like it's so close to the leather version, which is so much more sophisticated and classic, that it really makes you question, like, why am I buying this bag that lacks luster? You know, like,
okay. Yeah. Okay, I just want to quickly say thank you, MK. But usually it's right today, I just don't have lipstick because I literally ate for 5 minutes and I came to our live show, but also because I usually film right before our live show, which is why I have a full face on. Full face as in like whatever I do usually, but on a daily basis, you probably won't even recognize me because I don't wear anything. I'm even sometimes too lazy to wear SPF, which I know is bad. But if I'm just at home,
Yeah.
I don't even want to bother. That's how different I look usually. Maria, Moana, we need to be ready when they come back again. It's personally owned by Bernard Arnault, not LVMH. Oh, interesting. I'm sure more is coming after this current period. Ah,
Okay.
yeah,
Can
yeah, yeah.
there's a Mona. There is a Mona near well, in one of the malls here. Since I might be going shopping today
Take
because
more
I'm all
photos.
dolled up. We'll go and take some photos.
Yeah, relying on you because we don't have a Moana here. Actually, I just want to show this because yes, we do emphasize selling is a pain, even for Chanel, as Rebecca is saying here. It is really difficult for sure. Oh, interesting. Drew, this says, I personally love Bottega Veneta bags. I love fashion houses the most. I love LV fashion house the most, but I buy other brands too. Oh.
Vivian Givenchy. Oh, I'm not familiar with the bags from Givenchy. I'm familiar with the makeup, but not the bags. Do they? Yeah, I'm just wondering.
The Antigona is pretty much the one that everyone has.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only one. That's the
And
only
the
one.
soft
Yeah.
one too now. Deborah, I personally love Fendi. I came in late, so I don't know if you talked about it. But Kat, I agree bags shouldn't be purchased on resale. I buy bags based on look, style, and usability. Yep.
Social media turned us to resellers. It's because we want to keep up and we're humans, right? We want the new. And if you love fashion and if you love bags in particularly, there's always that new thing, right? And we can't, and we don't have unlimited amounts of money, and our house is, we can't have a warehouse of bags. So it's inevitable that you have to sell. So it's just that if you're not using the bag and then you resell it and you get a big discount cut of it, it kind of hurts. Like, it hurts. So,
But we
yes,
also have this. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, but yeah, buy it because you love it. Okay, buy it before you love it. Don't just listen to us like get LV, get Chanel. But if you love the bag, actually, we shouldn't be swaying you to get it if it suits your lifestyle and it suits the design and everything.
Absolutely. And also, I feel like people's expectations are changing a little bit now, because I think before this whole YouTube and like information overload phenomenon, nobody would expect to get back the money, let alone make money maybe on reselling your bags, right? Pre-owned bags. But now it's a thing because you know that you're able to do it because you understand that Chanel bags keep their value, LV bags keep their value. Like you know this, but before nobody knew this. When I sold my very first few bags, I did not know this. I actually sold a Chanel bag and made a loss, and it was brand new. And I didn't know that it would actually go up in value, but I sold it because I thought that, I bought it, so like I need to resell it, so obviously I have to discount it. But no, before you didn't know that. So it's definitely a thing that because of so much information, you have the knowledge now, but you're also, because of that, your expectation has changed, and you're almost expecting to like maybe you even have this false expectation that it's easily sold, that it's easily retains their value. Maybe for some people, but it depends if you're a skilled seller. It depends if you have a lot of buyers already in line. There's so many logistical things that you
Totally.
don't
Social
know.
social media has changed our behavior to luxury bags, and it's good and bad. Like like you said, right? Information overload. But as a bag buyer or luxury bag buyer, we should take whatever information that is useful for us to make that informed decision, but don't get swayed by too much information and just like, okay, I don't know what to do anymore. And it just go down the spiral of just don't know, right? Yeah, anyway.
Exactly. All right, Joyce, did you see the news stories that LVMH, LV being their brand that made the most, has made a profit in 2020? We hate the multiple price increases, but it's working for them and they will continue. Yeah, they will. I didn't read that news story. Have you?
No.
Yeah, I would only expect them to make money because I think they always do.
They should, right? I mean, they are a business, and if they are losing money, then they wouldn't be continuing their business. So it just makes sense that they will make money.
But they're
and we're
also one of
helping
the
them.
most successful brand, like luxury brands out there too,
Mm.
right? They're probably I feel like LV is probably the most crowd pleasing brand too.
True.
Like literally the most. Because like you said, like Chanel is at the price point where it's kind of too crazy. Like you will only get a walk if you spend $3,000. But at least with LV, you can still get something decent.
Yeah, you can get a bag, not an SLG. I know for a fact that you can only get a walk because the walk that I was like kind of eyeing, which is is it the mini walk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the mini walk. I was like, oh, I want to check it out, and it's been sold out. And that walk is $3,000. At $3,000 Singapore dollars, I can get the padded cassette bag. So I mean, if you're comparing it in that perspective, it's a lot of money, and LV is just more accessible. It's not any less luxurious. It's still approachable. So they should be making money.
All right, from Kimberly, what do you guys think of Chloe? Are they still bringing the hot trendy styles anymore? I feel like no one is talking about them, but I still see them on the street. It's very interesting. I haven't seen any Chloe as well. I said Chloe, but anyway, it's the same. Yeah, Chloe is a brand that I was kind of intrigued maybe at one point for a short period of time. It's very bohemian style when I look at it. But that's only if I look at pictures and when people style it, and because their style goes with it, then it looks nice to me. But when I went and tried it, then I immediately didn't like their bags. I don't know why. There is definitely the heaviness factor. I feel like a lot of their bags are very heavy, even the small ones. Even the tiny ones are really heavy once you try them on, like the chain digs in or something about it, just uncomfortable. And second of all, I feel like that's just based on my, impression from when I did try it before, okay? So not the most recent ones. But the second thing is I always felt that it was hard to get in and out of the bags. It was a little fussy. Either the clasp is fussy or there's always something about it that I didn't like. What was your impression, or what's your impression about this brand?
Chloe. I agree with you about the heaviness of the bag. They've always been a little bit on the heavier side. Like I've tried the older Chloe bags. Don't remember the names, but firstly, I agree. They look very bohemian. They look very, that kind of like, I imagine yourself, running in the field with a big flowy dress. They just kind of go with that look. And I think the bag that was the most appealing to me was the Drew, right? Because the chain was so beautiful and everything. But the bag is heavy, and I just don't get it, like why? And it's a bit fussy. Whether it will come back because it's hot trendy, it might come back some hot trendy styles. That's the thing about the Chloe brand. It's one of those brands that just doesn't stick out, you know. They come out one bag and then they disappear. They're like a one-hit wonder, and then they go away and they come back again. But again, if you love the brand and you love the designs, you know, there's a specific look, then go for it. Like, but for me, it's not a look that I like. I think maybe it's girly, maybe too girly.
It's very girly.
Yeah.
It's even too girly for me.
That's saying something.
Not super girly, but still, I find it girly too. Gina, thank you. I was going to ask you both actually, with another rumored price increase, are you ladies still thinking about adding the medium classic flap, or has the ship sailed? I should do the same thing too. Yeah.
I have put it on a back burner.
Gina, I think they already had a price increase. Is it in the UK? Was it in the UK or somewhere I read has already had their price increase?
Reading this comment is giving me backache. It's like,
it's so true. I know. Oh man, I feel so bad. Kat, you really need to add your Gabrielle before it's another price increase.
All right, I'm going shopping today, people. I'm gonna come back from today, and then we'll have an unboxing next week. You'll be like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done for life.
Oh no, we're influencing Kat to go shopping, to go spend money.
It is Lisa Eldridge's Muse lipstick. I love, if you like Lisa Eldridge is one of the she's a British makeup artist. She's so iconic. She came out with her lipstick line. This color is Muse. There are two lipsticks that I love, this kind of like 90s look, you know, more like brownie tawny color. This color or fawn, people love it.
It really suits you. I can't wear dark lipstick. It just looks weird on me. I prefer the brighter, almost like a fuchsia color.
Ooh,
for me,
nice.
Anyway. Okay, Melissa, do you feel like other brands like Fendi, YSL, Bottega has a much more better customer service than Chanel and LV because they have so many demands? I don't know.
I mean, when I went in to the store, yeah, they were nicer to me. But whether they are nice after sales, because I don't know. They're more attentive. They kind of give me DIOR vibes, you know, like they're just hovering around you.
I think for me, I say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
But yes, I do feel like they are definitely more attentive and more, you know, more, I guess, more willing to give you more information and, you know, explain things. And that definitely gives that vibe that they're better to customer service.
I think for me, I say I don't know because, again, it's very location based. Since so for us, all our stores are inside a large department store, which is called Holt Renfrew. So they're all lease space, so lease boutiques, you can say. So it's not really a standalone stores. So I feel like the employees are not really trained. They might be trained by the brands, but they are still working in that department store. And I feel like the service that I'm getting is still department store service, basically. It's like, because I have better relationship with, you know, my LV essays and Chanel essays, that I don't feel I get the extra attention when I shop at Fendi or YSL or Bottega. It just feels like any other person helping me at that department store, basically, if that makes sense. But I do have to say that, like I said, usually that's when I travel, and when I, shop around when I travel, I do get more attention to detail. Like they tell me stories, they tell me like about the history, like, or the heritage. They spend 20 minutes talking to me about this, even though I wasn't really, I mean, I was just browsing at Bottega, right? I wasn't really interested in buying anything. I even said, I'm just browsing. We were just walking in the mall, right? But he was so happy to share that information with me. So I do think that it depends specifically on location. And also if I feel like when it's a standalone store and you happen to have a nice SA working with you, then yeah, they do pay much better attention in that case.
Agree. Sometimes you tell them like, I am browsing. And they're like, let me help you.
Yeah.
No. No.
But that's the thing though, with people that are like that, like people that do their jobs well, that's when you maybe they don't know if you're going to be a repeat customer, or that you're even going to come back. But in the rare chance that you got so impressed by that person that you end up being a repeat customer and you become a loyal customer, that's how good relationships start. And also that's how a good salesperson or a good customer service person gains a lot of good reputation and just lots of people liking them, because they're doing such a great job, right? You're not expecting them to become your customer the first time, because sometimes they just aren't. But
True.
yeah,
It's true. That's true. I think that's gonna happen to one of the purchases that I may make. Like I went in browsing and then she was so nice that I'm like, yeah, I think I'll buy something from you.
you just want to go back and see them because they were so nice to you, right?
True.
Yeah. All right, Sharon is saying, agree, you have to modernize a brand or you stagnate. That was old Bottega, was not doing quality and timeless pieces, but too expensive for boring old ladies design. Oh my gosh.
But it became that, right? It became that kind of the bag. The old Bottega, I loved it. I had it, but it became that. It had that stigma in it. Expensive old lady bag, expensive. My mom would use these bags, so it became the kind of bags that people just like just had this thing like, yeah, only old women will carry this bag kind of look. And because it's so expensive, there's even more of that stigma to it. So yeah, they had to modernize to a certain extent, change it a little bit.
Yeah. Especially with the market and how fast things go now. Like the pace of everything is so fast. Technology, style, fashion. And by the way, we already at the 2-hour mark, and I literally don't know how time passed. So I have to, like, I'm only at the 9:11 timestamp in terms of comments. So I think we're gonna do a little bit more, but I gotta speed up. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. I noticed that people are accepting lambskin more than before, like the Chanel Minis, 19 trendy CCs, the cassette bag, Lady Dior. Yeah, I think it's true. I feel like even myself, you kind of just evolve. And I think maybe once you've experienced enough calfskin, you want to just try lambskin for a change. I don't know about, like, I know Kat loves lambskin because, yeah, I'll let you say it.
I love it. It's not as delicate. It's delicate, but it's not as delicate as you fear it to be. But I do take Amy's point, your point about depends on the season. So some seasons, the ones that I've tried, some of it is like, what? This is lambskin. I can't believe this is lambskin. And there are some seasons where you feel it's a little bit thin. So that's another thing to take note about lambskin. They're all not the same. But try it out in store.
Nat Wong, I don't hear many people speak about Bali or mulberry for a while. Maybe they've stuck for classic pieces and lost of its appeal.
Yeah,
we don't even have those mulberry. No, we don't even have those brands here in Vancouver, actually. Maybe I'm saying that and everyone in Vancouver is like, what? We do. But I haven't seen it, so I don't think we do.
Well, that's lost its appeal. I think these older brands, like it's like a Bottega situation, right? Nobody talked about it for a longer time, and Bali for the longest time actually don't. Wow, you know what? You didn't even put that comment after like what Bali, like not even the back of my head. So
I think my mom said before she used to like Bali shoes, but only because she knows it's made in Italy. Because honestly, she doesn't buy Bali shoes. Okay, she just knows the brand probably because she thinks that the shoes are made in Italy. But then a lot of shoes are made in Italy. Many, if not all, shoes are made in Italy. So like all luxury shoes, I mean. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Okay, Kat, would you classify Celine Classic, LV Matisse, Chanel Trendy, YSL Sunset, Dionysus as the same accordion compartments style?
So yeah, actually I would. I think I'm not sure about the YSL Sunset. Like I'm okay with maximum one compartment. Like if you just split the bag into two, I think that's okay. But when they're like, compartment size, so I believe the trendy CC is 2 and maybe 3. Is it 3? Can't remember now.
3. So
3.
2 that are larger, and then the one in the back is really just like a slip, you can see.
Yeah. So if the bag is split into 2, it's got to have a little bit more width to it. Like I feel like then I'm still okay. But sometimes they're just like the bag's like this big and they split it like 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, why? I can do it myself. So with the Celine, it was sort of that, like when you open it, I think it was, I'm trying to remember right now, I think it was 3. And even though it's a thinner version, but they split it and it opens up like that. So not a fan. It's not that I will never buy one. It's not a preferred style anymore. Okay, YSL. Got it.
Yeah, we got it. And I'm going back because the comments just jumped. That's how slow I am. All right. Chanel price has gone insane. I simply turn to pre-love now. Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling that way as well. Yeah. I'm like still at the 9:25 mark. Kat, I agree with you. The prices have gone up so much. So I feel like, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people are probably still okay to buy Chanel, but maybe now our choices are a little bit more thought out, like even more, because it's just so much more expensive. Plus, with Gina's extra information that the prices is coming up again.
Yeah, it's just terrible. But it like, what did we expect? Of course they will do it. I'm back happy. I've always been the type who is open to any brand as long as the design is truly catching my eye. Yep. That's a great attitude and way to shop for sure. Okay, so for this question, we're going to direct you to our videos that Kat actually started. It's called All About Our Handbags. It's kind of like a tag video. So we talked about our oldest, our newest bags and everything.
You can link it below.
Yeah, we'll link it below after I'll update the description so you can watch it, have more stuff to watch. Yes, include LV2. Prices going up so far. Other brands, it's not cheap too. I'd rather buy those that are high resale value.
Yeah.
To each their own, right? It's like there's no wrong way of doing it. As long as you love it, you love it. Maria, do you think the trendy CC would hold its value? I think the Coco handle definitely does. I don't know. I actually have not even really researched it that much because I decided to buy the trendy CC because I just couldn't stomach another price increase, first of all. And I really did fell in love with it because it's technically my real first lambskin bag. Because even though my Chanel 19 is a lambskin bag, it's a different lambskin. I almost don't consider it as like the classic lambskin bag, even though it's still beautiful, right? Not saying it's not. But the trendy CC is kind of a passionate purchase in a way, because I almost expect lambskin bags, because of the wear they get, to not keep their value as well. But saying that, I don't really know, because I'm not about to resell my trendy CC like next year. Like I'm planning to really use this bag. I'm planning to really have this bag in my collection forever for now. Like, I don't know if I'll change my mind in the future, but for now, I feel like it stays in the collection basically. And I bought it because I really wanted it and didn't really want to stomach another price increase. But you sold yours, so do you have any feedback for Maria about?
It does hold its value if it's, you know, in decent condition. I didn't. Okay, when I sold that bag, I actually didn't make a loss. I sold it almost at, I think maybe a little bit. And that time the trendy CC wasn't really popular. But now that it's super popular, I think it will hold its value. When I had the bag and I sold it, I actually had a hard time selling it because it wasn't popular and it was lambskin and, you know, a bit discounted. But it's still pretty good, right, for a Chanel bag. I probably lost like a few %.
Yeah, I feel like if maybe you kept it long enough and you keep it in good condition, then your chances are pretty good, because they're gonna keep on having these ridiculous price increases, right? And then by then, if you sold it at what you bought it for, then it's like you didn't really lose money. Then in that way, it did keep its value. It's usually a factor of time too. It's not just because the bag is popular or not popular. It's also time makes a difference. And of course, the bag being more popular now does help as well. This question is for you, Kat.
I'm eyeing my first Cartier bracelet as I don't have a bag on my wish list. Is getting a Cartier piece as exciting, as fulfilling, and worth as getting as a bag? Convince me more. I can tell you that these two bracelets have lived on my hand since the day I purchased it. The love that time and my Justin clue. I love looking at it on my hand. I love the feeling that I'm getting my money's worth for these bracelets. I love my bags, but one thing about bags is that you have to use your bags and you have to rotate them to really get a lot of utility and love and value out of it. But with jewelry, I feel like $1 million, okay? Having a stack of stuff on my hand. So I hope that convinces you enough that you will get a lot of use out of it as long as you use it. So whether it's a bag or jewelry piece, you get it when you use it. So for me, the Cartier, I'm getting a lot of use out of it. So it's making me happy, definitely.
Yeah, I love your stack. Okay, just know, why is finding a good essay so difficult? 2 that I have purchased from did not respond when I reach out later with product questions. Why is it so difficult?
Why is it so difficult?
I think it's difficult until you find the right person. Because I think for like when we were talking about I think it was on Kat's channel, we did a video on worst luxury experiences. We shared some experience about difficult essays, or kind of along the lines of that. And you just, until you find the right person, and it's in every profession, there are people that do their job well and people that don't. Every profession, no exception, whether you're a doctor, teacher, consultant, whatever it is. And sometimes you just have to basically go back and try it again until you bump into that really nice person that clicks with you. And sometimes it's not because they're not nice or nice. It's also because maybe that your personality just don't work together. That could be it too. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard. And also the relationship is not guaranteed. Like in that video, my worst experience is that I thought I had a good essay, but it turned and I did nothing. So it's not guaranteed. If you don't find one, move on to the next. Keep going, and eventually you will find someone that you click with. But it's not guaranteed. So don't be hurt by it. Just move on. Better things to worry about.
So the next few comments I'm noticing is all about price increases. So Bottega is getting one in November, apparently. Chanel is getting another one soon as well. And then Joyce is telling us that in Canada, the classic items have already increased by 1 to 3% because of the currency. Sometimes they do adjust it. I do notice that too. When I bought my trendy, it was a little bit more expensive, but I think it was like an adjustment. It wasn't a real increase.
Yeah, we're done.
Oh my gosh, another one, LV. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's the last one for the year, okay, people? So if you have any bags and you've been waiting and say, I'm going to get it for my Christmas present, do it now.
And we always say that, yeah, do it now. But then the next year, we're going to be talking about the same thing. Do it now. That's how it is, though. That's always how it is. Do it when you're ready, really. Do it now if you can, and do it if you have the funds for it.
True.
Yeah. And I think this will be our last question. Maria, Kat, you're such an LV lover. Should I go for the Lock Me BB or the Twist MM?
I had both of them. Okay, you know what? I can honestly tell you my Lock Me BB is so much more user-friendly compared to the Twist MM. I love it because it's slightly softer. It's easier to put my things inside. It's almost like a little bit more pliable, and I feel like it's I could fit more things inside. So with the Twist MM, one of my problems with it was a bit structured and it didn't fit more things. And I do like the fact that the Lock Me BB has a back pocket. I don't use it all the time, but when I need it, I can just put my things inside there. That gives me a bit more utility. And then, I had both, and between the two, I can honestly tell you I prefer my Lock Me BB.
And also, I don't own the Lock Me BB, but I have tried the Twist before. And why I loved it at the moment, because it was brand new at the time, it was a brand new style. I just feel like for a very structured bag, like it's hard, solid, right?
Solid.
I prefer having a handle when it comes to really, really solid structured bags.
Good point.
I just feel like having a crossbody, it's just gonna swing around, it's gonna knock around. You're just not gonna enjoy it as much.
Good point. Because in my, we're talking my review in my early YouTube days, when it's like long time ago, one of my big points about this Twist MM is that because it's solid, it's like at your body, and it swings, when you're walking and you're running, it swings around like a pendulum, like, woo! And yeah, you made the exact point. It was one of the things that I was like, I realized with this bag, it was a hard pendulum bag. Strange.
Yeah. So it's something that I definitely did notice, which is why I'm liking top handle bags more now. Even when they're not super structured, I just like having a top handle at least, and the extra strap. It's always good to have both. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I had to speed through all the comments at the end because there were so many and we're way over our 2-hour mark. But thank you all, our Luxies. You guys are amazing. Don't forget, next week is going to be on Kat's channel at the same time, same day. And we'll chat with you again soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.